Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous class, we have discussed about control statements. In control statements, we have two categories. One is branching statements and one is looping statements. So we have discussed about what is both of them. When we use branching statements and when we use looping statements, I have explained clearly. And in branching statements, which all categories are there, we have seen it already in the previous video. In case you have not watched the class, make sure that you go through it clearly before watching this video. Because you have to understand how if-else statements works. Okay, so under branching statements we have three different types. One is if-else. In if-else we have various variations and I have explained them. We have ladder if-else, nested if-else, simple if-else, how each one works and in which situations we need to use each one of them. I have explained clearly. And we have switch statement. When to use switch statement, there are certain restrictions, there are certain types of expressions that you can't use in switch. All that I have explained in the previous class. So I have mentioned the link for the previous class in the description. I have also mentioned the links for all our social media channels also, that is mentioned in the description. So in case you haven't joined yet, make sure you join all of them, because in each one of them we are going to put different kind of information. Okay, so we have our Instagram profile, we have WhatsApp group and also the Telegram channel. Make sure you join all the three. If you are already part of any WhatsApp group where you are getting these links, then you don't have to join the WhatsApp group that is mentioned in the description. It is only for those who are not part of any WhatsApp group yet. Okay, it is called programming guide group. So if you are part of aptitude group only, then you can join programming guide group. The students, SRM students, need not join this group because anyways you have a separate group. Okay, right. So coming to today's class. So in today's class, I'll be explaining a program which is not very common program. If you are a BE, BTech or BCA, MCA students, this is not a very common program, but this type of programs are important for placements. Okay, if you are someone who is preparing for placement, or if you want to understand in depth how to use this if-else statements and all that, then this program is very useful for you. Some common programs of if-else, some standard programs with solution, I will share it in the Telegram channel. Okay, so today's program is to find whether a given date is valid or not, and we are going to assume the year between 1900, that is 1900 to 2050. You can assume any year, the same program will work for that. Just one condition you will have to change. This program we will solve using ladder if-else statement. How to know whether you have to use ladder if-else statement or nested if-else depends on what all conditions you need to check to find the solution or to solve this problem. What all conditions you need to check, and based on that you will decide whether it is ladder if-else or nested if-else. If your conditions are divided into multiple branches, that is, if there is something yes, then you have to check one set of condition. You check a condition, if it is false, then you have to check some other condition. Then you will make use of nested if-else. If it is one after the other, then you can make use of ladder if-else. Okay, so here I am going to solve this problem using ladder if-else. Okay, so I am going to solve this particular program using ladder if-else. I will do a separate video for switch statements, and goto is also there. That is also part of branching statements, but all the textbooks, all authors very strongly say not to use goto because of various confusions that it leads to. Anyways, I will do one class for that as well. Okay, right, so you just mention in the comment section whether you want a video for goto or not. If you need it, if it is there as part of your syllabus, then I will do it. Otherwise it's not necessary. Basically, if you want to master programming, goto is not necessary. But if you are a student who is taking up your university exam, then maybe goto is also part of your syllabus. So just let me know. If you want, then I will make a video in a couple of days for goto. Okay, right. Now here we will start first. First I will always, before starting the program. So I will always first make an outline. So usually in your university syllabus they will tell you to write a flow chart. I write one outline on how to solve this program, or what all conditions we need to check. So just to make sure that I am not leaving out on any specific condition, to make sure that there won't be any wrong outputs, I always write a outline before starting to write the program. Okay, so now let's start analyzing how to solve this particular question. So what is that we need to do? We're going to give a date, and we have to check whether that date is valid or not. So we will ask the user to enter the date in a specific format. We will ask the user to enter date in this format. Okay, and then they are going to enter the date, and we are going to store this in one variable D. This number we are going to store in one variable M, and this number we are going to store in one variable called Y. Okay, so these are my variables. Int variables, because the numbers are very small, int is enough. If you want, you can even use short int. I'm going to use int variables. Okay, these three variables. Now I will start checking step by step. First I'll check whether the year is valid or not. So how to check that? I have to check if the year is less than 1900, or if it is greater than 2050, then it is invalid, right? It is invalid. I will print that it is invalid, and I don't have to proceed further at all. Okay, only if this is true, if the year is a valid year, only then I'm going to check the next condition. So what is that next condition I'm going to check is, here I think I can't use specifically ladder if else. It's going to be a mix of nested if else and the ladder if else. So this is not specifically nested if else or ladder if else. Anyways, as I told you, depending on the conditions that we need to check, we are going to write the if else conditions. Now if this is invalid, then I don't have to continue the program at all. Okay, only if it is not invalid, then I will be doing the other part of the program. So this is going to be my if condition. If this condition is invalid, then I'm going to straight away print that the date is invalid. If it is valid, then we will go to the next condition. So first we will check year. After checking year, we will check the month. Okay, so when I check month, I have to make sure that it has to be greater than 1, and it has to be less than or equal to 12. Okay, greater than equal to 1 or less than equal to 12, only then it is a valid date. And see, we can also check it this way. We can check if because I am interested in deciding whether it is valid or invalid. So if it is invalid, I don't have to further continue. So I can check if month is less than 1, or if it is greater than 12, again it is invalid, right? So what are invalid conditions? If year is not in the given range, it is invalid. I don't have to further proceed the program. I can just straight away print that it is an invalid date. And if it is valid date, then I am going to check the next condition. In the next condition, I am going to mention that if the month is less than 1 or greater than 12, then again it is invalid. I will decide straight away that it is invalid. Year was valid, but month is not valid. Therefore, the date is invalid, right? Suppose the month is also valid, then I have to check date. So here we have to consider many conditions, because valid date is different for every month. So we have certain months which has 30 days, we have certain months which has 31 days, and we have February which has 28 or 29 days based on whether it is a leap year or not. So which all months have 30 days is, we have April, June, then July and August has 31 days, September, November. So this month has 30 days, right? And which all months has 31 days is Jan, March, and then May has 31 days, and then we have July and August has 31 days, then October and December. So all these months has 31 days. So I need to check the month. So since month is a valid month, I'm going to check the date. Here, if month is 4, 6, then 9 or 11, if month is any one of these four numbers, then the date should be greater than or equal to 1, or it should be less than equal to 30. Okay, so because the range of valid data is 1 to 30. Or if month is 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10 and 12. In these months, the date should be greater than equal to 1, and this is and it has to be less than equal to 31, because until 31 it is a valid range in case of these months. We need to check whether the given year is a leap year or not only if it is month February. Okay, otherwise if these months, then we have to directly check the date. Okay, if month is equal to 2, that is if your month is February, only then to determine whether the date is valid or not, you should also know whether it is a leap year or not, because some years have 28 days and leap years have 29 days in month of February. Now, how to check whether the year is leap year or not? Check leap year. Okay, so to check leap year, there are two conditions. First condition is it should be divisible by 4 and it should not be divisible by 100. Okay, it should be a multiple of 4, but it should not be a multiple of 100. And if it is straight away divisible by 400, then it is a leap year. Okay, so check whether year is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year. Okay, if it is not divisible by 400, then check it should be divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, then it is a leap year. Okay, so one of these conditions must be true. So you take the first condition or the next condition, and then if it is satisfied, then it is a leap year. Then if it is a leap year, then date should be greater than equal to 1 and it can be less than equal to 29. Okay, up to 29 it can be possible, it is a valid date. If it is not a leap year, then date must be greater than equal to 1 and it must be less than equal to 28. Okay, so these are all the checks that you will have to do to make sure that a given date is valid or not. Now we will write program for this. Hope you understood the logic. So we are going to enter a date. First we check whether the year is within the given range. If it is not, we straight away print it as invalid year. If it is true, if that condition is satisfied, then we are going to check whether month is in the given range. If it is false, again there straight away we can print that it is not a leap year and we can exit the program. If it is a leap, if this condition is true, then we if this condition is, if the month is valid, then we are going to check the date. But when we check the date, we have multiple conditions to check. Based on month, valid date varies. So if it is one of these months, then the date can be between 1 to 30. If it is one of these months, then the date can be between 1 to 31. We don't have to check whether it is a leap year or not at all. And only if it is a leap year, then we will have to check, only if it is month February, then we will have to check whether it is a leap year or not. Because if it is not a leap year and if I have given date 29, even that is an invalid date. So I need to check whether it is a leap year or not, and we have conditions to check whether the given year is leap year or not. After checking, we will see whether the date is valid, and based on all these conditions, finally we are going to display in case the date is valid or not. Okay, so now let us start writing program for this. And program I will straight away, I have explained the logic here. Now program I will straight away type it in Dev C++ itself. Okay, I'll go for new program. Here we'll write program to check whether given date is valid or not. Okay, so year is 1900 to 2050. This is the assumption, this you have to mention. Okay, so first we will include the header file stdio.h. In case we require anything else later we can include. I think I told you why I'll write void main. If your compiler is not supporting void main, you can write int main also. Okay, so we will write void main. Now I have to write all the variables that I require. I will use D for date, M for month, and Y for year, and I will use one variable called flag. It's just a variable. I am going to use it to denote if it is valid or invalid. Okay, in case it is invalid, I am going to make it as the flag variable, I am going to set it as 0. Okay, if it is anywhere, like I am checking so many conditions, right? For invalid date, I am checking so many conditions. Anywhere I check that, I find out that it is invalid, then I am going to make sure that flag is, I am changing the value of flag. Flag is made as 1. Okay, so when I make flag as 0, flag initially it's going to be 1. I will make it as 0. If it is 0, it means it is in the end I am going to display whether it is invalid or valid. Okay, right. So these are the variables that I have. In case we need any more variables, we'll insert it later. Now we will ask the user to enter date in the format DDMMYYYY. Okay, so we have asked the user to enter the date. Now whatever the user enters, I think I have told you before, in scanf statement we will write the format specifiers without any space or anything. See, like this we have to write. I've already explained input output statements, right? In basic input output statements, I have told you how to write the scanf statement. Scanf, you need an opening bracket and a closing bracket, semicolon. You will have double quotes and then comma. Within this double quotes, here you will write format specifier. For this, respective variables will be written after this comma. So you have an int, you write it here as ampersand n. You have next int or float, okay, that you write it as say this is p, this is t, and then you have percentage f, and that is going to be r, comma. So this is how you need to write. So this comma is a separator used between the variable names, but not in between the format specifiers. In case you give anything between format specifiers, then your input also should be accordingly given. Okay, suppose you give your scanf statement like this, then you are going to give the input like this, 10,000 space 2, then say 7.5. So this is your principal amount, this is time, and this is stored in rate of interest. See here, between format specifiers I have not mentioned anything. It's percentage D, percentage D, percentage F. Okay, so I am giving like this. Suppose I give a comma here. If I give comma here, percentage D, comma, percentage D, comma, percentage F, then input also I have to give 10,000, comma 2, comma 7.5. So if I give any character here between format specifiers, in the same format I have to give input. Now I am expecting a date of the form this. Okay, I'm expecting a date of the form. Okay, this is the form of date I am expecting. Here I am going to give this slash in my input itself. Therefore, make sure you are entering slash here also. So it is going to read it in the same format. This slash is not stored anywhere. It is just to specify the input format. Only this is stored in D, and this will be stored in M, and this is stored in Y. Okay, but make sure you are going to give this slash in the scanf statement also. So here I'll give percentage D, okay, percentage D slash percentage D slash percentage D. Okay, this is the input format I'm expecting. The first percentage D will be stored in the address of D. Second integer will be stored in the address of M, and the third int value is going to be stored in the address of Y. So now I have my input. So now I'll start checking whether this date is valid or not. So first I'll check whether the year is valid. If year is less than 1900 or year is greater than 2050, then I am going to make flag as 0. Okay, see, I have initialized flag as 1 when I have declared it. Okay, when I have declared the variable itself, I have stored variable 1 there. Here, if the year is invalid, I am going to make it as flag 0. Okay, right. Now, in case this condition is false, this condition is false means the year is a valid year, then I am going to check whether month is valid. If month is less than 1 or if month is greater than 12, then also I am going to make flag as 0. See, if that condition is true, I don't want to check further. So understand why I am using here else if, because if that condition is true, that is it is less than 1900 or it is greater than 2050, then it is an invalid date. Then I don't want to check further. If that condition is true, further checking will not happen. Only flag is made 0. If that condition is false, means year is not less than 1900, it is not greater than 2050. It means year is a valid year. So you are going to check whether month is also valid or not. Here, if month is invalid, again I am making it flag as 0. If month is not invalid, only then we are going to check the next condition. Else if year is not invalid, then check whether month is invalid. Month is also not invalid, therefore I am checking whether date is valid. Okay, but here I have multiple conditions, right? So in this else I will put multiple things. So what is that? If I am coming to this else block, it means these two were false. These two were false means year is valid, month is valid. Understand? The condition is to check invalid date. If the condition is true, then date is invalid. If the condition is false, then date might be valid. I will write one more version of the program also if this is confusing. Okay. So here year was also valid, month was also valid. Therefore we have come here. Here I need to check multiple things. What is that? If month is equal to 4, that is I am checking that 30 days condition, or month is equal to 6, or month is equal to 9, or month is equal to 11. Okay, this is April, June, September and December, September and November. These are the months when the date is 30. Okay, I will check if D is greater than equal to 1 and D is less than equal to 30. I'll check invalidity, that is if D is less than 1 or if D is greater than 30, then it is an invalid date. So flag is made 0. Okay, right. Hope it is clear. I am only writing conditions for invalidity. I am assuming flag is 0 is invalid date. Flag is 1 is a valid date. I am assuming date is valid. Everywhere I am checking condition. If it is invalid, I am making flag as 0. If it's not invalid, I am checking the next condition for invalidity. First I checked the condition for years invalidity. Then I checked for months invalidity. Now I am checking for dates. So if it is any of these months, if the date is less than 1 or greater than 30, then flag is 0. Then it's going to be an invalid date. Else, if month is equal to 1, that is January, or month is equal to 3 or 5, or month is equal to 7, or month is equal to 8, that is August, then month should be equal to October, or month should be equal to December. Instead of writing all these, I can write directly only one thing, that is if month is equal to 2. This is for February, right? So here I'll have some conditions. Here I need to check whether year is leap year. Check leap year. Okay, we will write the rules. Check leap year. Else means month is not this 30 days months. Month is not February. It means it is going to be all the remaining months because month is a valid month. That's why we have come here, right? Else, if here I don't have to check those months. If D is less than 1 or if D is greater than 31, because until all the remaining months valid dates is between 1 to 31. So if it is not between that range for other months, then the flag is 0. Here we will check the condition for leap year. If year should be actually divisible by 400. Okay, if year is divisible by 400, or it should be divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100. Y modulus 100 should not be equal to 0. Okay, yes. So then it is a leap year. So if this condition is satisfied, then it is a leap year. So if it is a leap year, then if date is less than 1, or if date is greater than 29, because in a leap year valid date is up to 29, then flag is 0. Okay, if that condition is false, that is if this condition is false, it's not divisible by 400, or maybe it is not divisible by 4 itself, or maybe it is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, or maybe not both. Okay, so if this is not true, means it is not a leap year, then the condition is else if date is less than 1 or date is greater than 28, because only up to 28 it is valid. If date is greater than 28 for a non-leap year, then also it is invalid. Okay, so now I have written all conditions for invalidity of date. First I am checking whether year is invalid. I am just making sure that there is no mistakes. Okay, year is invalid. If year is not invalid, then I'll check whether month is invalid. If that is also not invalid, then I'll check date is valid. Date is invalid. For that I am checking based on month. If it is any one of these months, then this is going to be an invalid date. Otherwise, if it is month 2, I am checking if it is a leap year. If it is leap year, then greater than 29 is going to be invalid date. If it's not a leap year, then greater than 28 itself is an invalid date. If it is not 30 days months, or if it's not February, then it is going to be one of the months of 31 days. So I have written this. Then if it is greater than 31, then it is an invalid date, right? So that is else, and this is going to, okay, so fine, everything, brackets, everything is perfect, right? Now my entire checking is done. Now I'll check if flag is equal to 0. Means if any of these conditions were true, or if you observe all the conditions here are for invalid dates. If any of this condition is true, then the date was invalid, right? That's why we have made flag as 0. So if flag is 0, printf invalid date. Okay, else, that is it was not made 0 at all, then none of those conditions became true. So it is a valid date. Valid date. Okay, so this is our program. We will first save the program, date validity .c. Make sure to save it using .c, because all compilers by default give .c++ extension. So I will compile, no errors. Now I'll run the program. Okay, I will check all invalid dates. First I'll give some date with an invalid year. Okay, so I'll give 12/3, and year I'm going to give 2100. Year has to be within 2050, right? So it has printed invalid date. Now I'll run this again. Now again I'll give a date which is less than 1900. I'll give 1899 or something. Okay, again it is invalid date, right? So for my year range it is working fine. If I give a wrong year which is not within the given range, it is giving me a wrong date condition, I mean invalid date, it is giving the correct output. So year thing is working. Now I will give a valid year, but I'll give an invalid month. Okay, 12/13/1990. 1990 is a valid year, but 13 is not a valid month. Okay, so again it says invalid date, right? Now we'll execute it again. I will give a negative month and check. So -5 I'll give, and then I'll give 2000. 2000 is a valid year. Okay, so again month I gave negative month and I gave a month which was greater than 12. So for both the conditions it is giving me invalid date. Next I'll give invalid date. Okay, invalid date I'll give. So I'll give 35 some month, doesn't matter, 1990. So this is an invalid date because I've given greater than 35. Now I will give, April is 4th month, I'll give 31/4/1990. See, again it's invalid because in the month of April, so right now this condition was checked. If month is 4, then if date is greater than 30, flag was made 0. So month is 4, right? Month given is 4. Date is greater than 30, 31 it is. Therefore, it made flag as 0, and in the end we are checking if flag is 0, it is an invalid date, right? Okay, so we'll run it again. I will give invalid date for the month of February. Okay, so I'll give 30/2/1990. So if it is month February, then 30 is an invalid date, and I will give leap year. Okay, so 29/2/1987 is not a leap year. Therefore, any date which is not an even number is definitely not a leap year. So 1987 is not a leap year, but I have given 29 days in the month of February, so it has to give me invalid date. Good. So I'll run it again, and now I'll give a valid date. I'll give 28/2/1987. See, this is a valid date. Is that clear? So all conditions for invalidity I have checked. I have checked with wrong date, wrong month and wrong year also. Now I am giving all valid dates. I'll give 10/1/1995. Okay, see, it is a valid date. Hope this is clear. Take a screenshot of this program. I will also share this program with you in the Telegram channel. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this program. This is one version of the program. Without this, you can reduce the length of the program by giving multiple conditions in one single thing itself. Okay, so for that what you can do is, let me just remove all these things. If you find this is too many if-else conditions, then you can do it in an alternative way also. So this also I'll remove it. So basically we have taken the input from the user. I will check multiple conditions at once. That is, if year is less than 1900, or if year is greater than 2050, or if month is less than 1, or if month is greater than 12, or if date is less than 1, or if date is greater than 31, because this is a valid range. If it is a date, it has to be between 1 to 31. If it is an year, this is a range. If it is month, this is the range. If year is not in the range, month is not in the range, and date is not in this range. See, suppose date is like about 31, then whether the year is valid, whether the month is valid, it doesn't matter. If date is 35, definitely it is an invalid date, right? So here in this program, the number of conditions that we check is reduced by a great extent. So if any of this condition is true, say I have used OR. If any of this condition is true, then it is invalid date. I will make a flag 0. So this gives overall conditions for invalidity. Okay, if any one of this is not correct, then there is not multiple conditions checking. In this one condition itself, major portion of the invalid dates I am verifying. Okay, now year is within the range, month is also within the range. Now I have to check whether date is within the range. For this I have to use that based on different months there are different valid dates. This I have to make, I cannot reduce this part of the code. This must be done. Okay, so here I'll check if month is equal to 2. That is, if month is February, then I'll have to check whether it is a leap year or not. Based on that, I have to check validity of the date. So now I'll check if year. So if month is 2 means it is a February month. So I'll first check whether it is a leap year or not. If year modulus 400 equals to 0, or year, if it is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year. If it is not divisible by 400, then it should be divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100. So y modulus 4 should be 0 and y modulus 100 should not be 0, should not be equal to 0. If this condition is true, then it is a leap year. Then until 29 it is a valid date. If it is beyond 29, that is 30 or 31, then it's going to be invalid. We have only those two values here because we have already checked whether date is in the range 1 to 31. So we don't have to write date less than 1 here because date is already not less than 1. It is greater than or equal to 1. That condition is, we have checked it already. So all I have to check is that since it is a leap year, valid date is only up to 29 for this month. If it is greater than 29, only then it is invalid. So if D is greater than 29, then I'll make flag as 0. Okay. Else means it is not a leap year. Then if D is greater than 28 itself, it is invalid date. Okay. It is invalid date if date is greater than 28 in case it is not a leap year. This is for February month. Okay, so this is for February month. Else if, that is, month is not February, then I'll check whether it is one of those months where the date is up to 30. Okay, so if month is 4 or month is 6 or month is equal to 9 or month is equal to it's April, June, September and November. Okay, so in these 4 months, if so date is anyways it's up to 31 only. In these months date can be only maximum 30. So if it is equal to 31 or greater than 30 also you can write. Flag is 0. Okay. Else means it's not February, it's not that 30 days months, then it has to be then it is a valid date because it is not greater than 31. No, that is already checked. So this is not necessary at all. This is not necessary. Okay. So now all the conditions have been checked. See this looks compact. If you understand this better, then you can practice this only. Doesn't matter. So we have checked all year, month, date, all validity we have checked here. Any of these is beyond the range, immediately we are checking, we are mentioning that we are changing the flag variable. And if all of these are within range, then we are going to check whether date is very specific with respect to month, right? So that we are checking, we check whether it is a leap year. If it is leap year, it can't be greater than 29. If it's not a leap year, it can't be greater than 28 itself in the second month. And if it's not February, then we are not even checking for leap year condition. We are going to check whether it is a month of 30 days, then it cannot be 31 date. Otherwise, it can be 31 also because it is not greater than 31 that we have checked here itself. Okay, right. Now we are going to print if flag is 0, it's an invalid date, and else we print that it is a valid date. Valid date. Okay. I'll save it and now we will compile. No errors. So we'll run the program. Again I'll enter wrong dates with respect to year, month and date. Okay, I'll enter a wrong date first. So it is invalid. Next I'll enter a wrong month. It is invalid. Next I'll enter a wrong year. Okay, 2100 I'll enter. So this is also invalid. Okay, So I have entered all the 3 categories for wrong data. Now I'll enter correct one. So this is a valid date. Now I'll enter leap year for a month which is not leap year, leap date for month which is not leap year. Again it is invalid, correct? Okay, and I will give 31 days in the month of April, so which should also be invalid, right? So it is coming properly. So both the versions of the program is correct. Previous program we just checked one by one. We first check whether year is valid. If it is valid, only then we check month is valid. If month is also valid, then we check whether date is valid based on the month. Here I am checking everything at once. So I am checking year, month, date. Everything should be in a valid range. Then if any of these is not in the valid range, immediately right away I am writing flag is 0. Then if all these are proper, then the date is specific with the maximum date is specific with each month. So based on month I am checking whether the date is valid. In all these conditions, if you see D greater than 1 or D less than 1 is not given, because that is covered here itself. Okay, right. You can take a screenshot of this program. This also I will share it. Remaining part of the program you can take screenshot. Done. Okay, let me know if you have any clarifications. If you want any other programs to be solved, you can mention it in the description. Hope this gave a very clear idea about how to use if else statement. I'll do a few programs using if else, and if you want any specific program to be explained in detail, you mention to me in any of those WhatsApp groups or Telegram channels. Through that you can contact me. I will definitely do a video for that, and in my next video I am going to explain how to use the switch statement. As I mentioned earlier, please comment below whether you want a go to program, go to concept or not. If you want, I'll do it, otherwise I'll skip it. Then we will be doing programs based on switch, 1 or 2 programs based on switch, and once that is done, in the next live class I'm going to explain about control statements part 2, that is looping statements, how to use while, do while and for loop. We will see in the next live class. I'll upload one more video for switch based programs. Okay. And for this C programming, there are a couple of books which I found to be very nice to learn. I have mentioned the links for those books in the description. So it's basically an Amazon affiliate link, and you will not be paying anything extra, but if you buy through this link, I'll be getting a very small amount. So in case you're planning to buy the book, you can always buy the book through this link, so that it would be a very small help for me. Okay. Right. So I have mentioned in all the programming videos, I'll be mentioning the links to the popular books in the description. So in case you're interested, you can buy through that. Okay, fine. See you in the next video. Bye bye.